Wowzers. 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 Alright. Welcome back.
Warmed up yet?
Welcome back to another Smack Dab session. Thank you, Cosmic Kinfolk, for joining in with me today as we're about to just do another video blog type of session. This topic is definitely about time jumping and the ability to cross over time, but it's also more of a blog talk radio type thing. So thank you for hanging out with me. As you can see from the title slide, this is Catches Bullets with His Teeth, ShoNuff. And if you are, an 80s baby, 70s baby, early 90s baby, maybe you know this movie, The Last Dragon, that I was talking about in my previous review of Disney's The Last Dragon. Well, I'm just referring to my favorite arch villain of all time, which is ShoNuff, here in this title slide. And you best believe ShoNuff is the master, because in this latest artistic embarking I'm about to go on, I'm going to portray myself as the villain. Usually I'm DJ Dab, aka The Last Dragon. I'm thinking in my next album, as I'm developing its full concept, that I'm going to be DJ Dab, aka ShoNuff, and just show up as ShoNuff. Anyway, moving right along, thank you for playing along with my little intro there that got a little long-winded, but things to soon come. If you follow this channel, I do make music. I have another channel for DJ Dab altogether. I do my best not to do any kind of like crazy production stuff on this channel, and just keep this channel very spiritual and surrounding the energies of life. So we're talking about time jumping today. We're talking about the ability to see down a tunnel with tunnel vision and have foresight, be it 6 seconds down the road, if you're driving a car, a race car, flying an airplane, doing kung fu or karate. Imagine being 6 seconds ahead and what you could see. You'd almost be like in your own Dragon Ball Z world. Not too many people think about that. 6 seconds ahead. It's a lot of time to be ahead. Imagine if you were 10 seconds ahead. No, go further. Imagine you could go a full day ahead. Now, going down that kind of time jump isn't like martial arts in the moment where now you can be ahead of your opponent. Now you can be ahead of your sorrows, your highs, your lows, your joys, your peaks, and your valleys. Meaning that you can see the energy coming up through the crests and waves a day ahead. So now, not just being physically ahead, you're mentally ahead, one day ahead. Now take that even further and push yourself out and be a year ahead. Fuck that, be 10 years ahead. Now what are you going to do? I'm calling on all you psychics out there who hustle hard and have abilities that aren't really fully tapped into yet. Well, why can't you see things that aren't there yet? Potentially not just your dreams and wishes. That's great that you have dreams and wishes and you want to speak and manifest them into the reality here. As you see, this cosmic center keeps drawing us inward. We're going inward in this talk because your center self is the only self that can cross time. The centered self is the one that has no judgment. I'm not preaching here to a choir. I'm not preaching here to people who might even understand that. I'm preaching to myself, hoping that you're listening too, saying that, look, this dimension of time is false, but we are in a powerful state of being when we realize how much of it we are manipulating. So therefore, it's not false. That's a blanket statement. Time is just the fabric of our perception. And if you're catching all these present moments, then you can learn to manipulate present moments by being ahead of them by whatever degree you can imagine. Now, how do you get to this state? You're saying, Dab, I teach this all the time. It's just so simple. There's no need to beat the drum. You have to begin with a regiment of a very good meditation. Very good meditation involves incrementally taking yourself from a 1 minute meditation where you might open up an app that tells you to just breathe for 1 solid minute, and you take that 1 solid minute and you take deep inhales and then you exhale and then you inhale and then you exhale. And you take another deep breath as you inhale and then you exhale. And then you inhale again with a very deep cosmic breath. And one more time you exhale. And even if you begin with that short of a meditation, my dear brother, my dear sister, you're conquering a space and time you've never tried before. And you're just getting warmed up. Because when you can reach a 2-minute meditation, when you can reach a 3-minute meditation, when you can reach a 4-minute meditation going on to 5 full minutes, you're going to understand what I just talked about 5 minutes ago about bending time. So as a time bender, look, I've been able to do a lot of very magical things by bending time towards me or away from me. One of the times I've bent time away from me was in avoiding being in the World Trade Centers when those came down. I was supposed to be there that day. You can call it God blessing me not to be there. You can call it luck, but it was bending of time. Because the bending of time allows for you to stay in the flesh. So I've bent time again where I've fallen to my kitchen room floor with a bloody head. Could have sworn I was bleeding out on the floor. Had cardiac arrest. But I've woken up going, oh my gosh, where have I been for the last 2 minutes? It felt like. Only to realize that everybody in the room, the next room from where my kitchen was, thought I'd been gone for an hour, and he'd even come looking for me and couldn't find me there on the kitchen floor as they walked out to the patio. So I've bent time. I have been through places where time does not have to be relevant. Let's take, for example, in hip-hop, currently what's going on in our situation. So we have a timestamp on what's currently real. DMX is in a dark place right now. He does not have brain function. Therefore, there is no spark in the pineal gland calling his conscious into thought. Therefore, his conscious is in limbo and is ready to be freed from a bodily constrained vibration because he's never learned to be out of body. And for this experience for him, it's suffering. It's a dark place where you don't have thoughts, but you know you're not able to even have thought, and that's freaking you out. Because then, therefore, how do you comfort yourself? It's a very, very powerful loop to be in. So you let the body pass away. We do not keep people's bodies here. Free him. Unless we were able to get in there and cybernetically reconnect his wiring system to jumpstart his DNA remembrance to the frequency he is, which he's lost in the brain. It's not happening. I have personally time jumped out to him to see from his eye what he's seeing. And he's seeing nothing but darkness. There's no imagination going on. There's no dream state. But anyway, the gift of time jumping The gift of taking your consciousness, slowing it down personally, and arriving at a very special place where you're going to feel like a god. The gift is to really just take in the fact that if you already are a spiritual person listening to me, and you don't believe in linear time, you know that you have the mental ability to not only manifest with your mouth what is to come, but to also just take yourself a step ahead in your own life, in other people's lives, as you meet them, and look 6 seconds ahead. Because I swear to you, it will give you the ability that when a gun is fired at you, and I'm talking about mental guns, physical guns, weapon guns, when it's fired at you, you will step beyond that plane and not be injured by the weapon that is formed against you. So, catch more bullets with your teeth. I feel the electricity flowing through me. I hope you do too. And this has been another smack dab session on just a quick lesson so that you can be more, so you can be out there and be a blessing.